Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
The moment had finally arrived. In a single arena, two boxing worlds collided. On one side stood Floyd "Money" Mayweather, the undefeated champion with a flawless 50-0 record. On the other, Terence "Bud" Crawford, who had shocked the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez and establishing himself as this generation's top pound-for-pound fighter. For the first time, they came face to face. No more hypothetical debates or what-if scenarios. Both legends were sharing the same stage, cameras, and spotlight. And make no mistake, this wasn't just another press event. This was a historic moment in boxing history.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
To truly grasp how incredible this matchup was, you need some context. Before 2025, if you asked who would come out on top between Mayweather and Crawford, most fans would have laughed. Mayweather was seen as untouchable, widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters of all time.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No. No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but
right.
When Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your ass.
Then came the showdown between Crawford and Canelo. Crawford, the smaller fighter, moved up in weight to take on what many considered an almost impossible task. And yet, he succeeded. He didn't just hang in there. He didn't merely scrape by. He dominated Canelo Alvarez from start to finish.
Terence Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, you would jab him. We didn't see any like lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they fought again.
That win shifted everything. In an instant, Crawford went from being considered one of the greats to arguably the best fighter of his generation. Fans, analysts, and even fellow fighters began to recognize that he wasn't just chasing legends. He had become one himself.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence "Bud" Crawford.
And that's when things truly got wild. After the fight, Canelo Alvarez, who had faced both Mayweather and Crawford at their peaks, made a statement that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. He openly admitted that Crawford was the superior fighter.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Think about this. Canelo went up against a peak Floyd Mayweather back in 2013, and now he's set to face Crawford at the height of his powers in 2024. To call him the tougher, superior boxer isn't just a compliment. It's a bold statement that could reshape boxing history forever.
You ready? Let's go.
All right, Canelo, just one, please.
Guys, we gotta go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? Just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy. He's better.
For years, Floyd has referred to Canelo as easy competition, building a reputation around how effortlessly he managed the younger fighter. Now, Canelo admits that Crawford operates on a whole different level.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
It's exactly the kind of thing that gets under Mayweather's skin. His brand and reputation have always been untouchable, but now there's a new wave, former opponents and others, who seem more focused on profit than him. And we all know Floyd's ego is massive. After Canelo's comments hit the news, Floyd started acting differently. He began giving interviews that hinted at something bigger, not another exhibition, not a quick payday in Japan, but a real professional comeback. For the first time in years, Mayweather has suggested he's open to fighting someone notable again. Terence Crawford is on his radar. This isn't just about money, it's about legacy, pride, and proving to the world that he's still the greatest. Hashtag.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
But here's the catch. Before Mayweather can even consider a bout with Crawford, he already has another fight lined up. He's set to face Mike Tyson in an exhibition match next April.
That fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
Let's be real. This is already shaping up to be one of the most thrilling matchups in sports history. Mayweather, the defensive genius, going up against Tyson, one of the most feared punchers ever. It's not about titles or rankings. This is pure spectacle, entertainment, and intense rivalry. And trust me, the tension is real. Tyson has never hidden his lack of respect for Mayweather, calling him arrogant, mocking his style, and saying outright that if they ever fight, he'll go for the knockout. Mayweather sees a win over Tyson as a way to build momentum. If he moves through that fight looking sharp, it strengthens the Crawford narrative. But if Tyson lands that one punch and humiliates him, it's game over. Nobody wants to see a 50-year-old Floyd, coming off a loss to an even older Tyson, then teaming up with legends like Evander Holyfield. Tyson's announcement that he'll face Floyd Mayweather in 2026 has everyone talking. What's your take on this showdown?
The greatest of all time, Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson announced he's fighting Floyd Mayweather in 2026. What do you think of that fight overall?
Well, kind of different, the size-wise, by Tyson heavyweight, and I think weatherweight.
Right.
So it's.
Is it a real fight? Do you think? You think fans should take it serious? Is it a real fight, Mayweather Tyson?
I couldn't think it was real. Because the fact of the matter, he's a lot bigger than the guy. So his weight makes a difference.
In a way, Tyson is the gatekeeper. Mayweather needs to prove he still belongs in the ring before even thinking about facing Crawford. So why is Floyd still in the conversation? Simple. Floyd is Floyd. 50 wins, 0 losses, the most effective defensive fighter boxing has ever seen. He made world-class opponents look ordinary, not because of knockout power or size, but through intelligence, timing, and the uncanny ability to make you miss by inches and pay the price. On that note, when it comes to boxing, do you consider Floyd the GOAT?
Speaking of boxing, do you think Floyd's the GOAT?
Oh, undeniably. I don't even think it's close. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
As far as like an actual fighter for fight, like fight for fight, pound for pound, the Floyd, how can he not be the greatest? Like as far as like he's never lost. He's the greatest defensive fighter without a doubt.
Even close.
I don't even think it's a debate.
It's not a debate.
Floyd's been hit hard maybe 4 times in his career.
It's not a debate.
He's touched the floor 1 time, bro.
It's not a debate.
How do you fight 50 times and touch the floor?
Even Terence Crawford has acknowledged that Floyd's defensive skills are unmatched, speaking about him with both respect and admiration.
But what makes Floyd the best, so unique, something that we have not seen before?
His defense, his instincts. I think Floyd had the best defense in boxing history.
Better than Sweet Pea?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know Sweet Pea has some defense.
But
Sweet Pea had defense, but he in the offense like Floyd.
I look at, I say he got more defense than Sweet Pea because he got hit less.
Yes.
You know, Sweet Pea had more head movement, so Sweet Pea was better at slipping punches, making you miss.
Right.
But Floyd on defense, like catch, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
You know, Floyd hands down. Then making you pay, catching counter, catching, slipping. You know what I mean? Like hitting you with shots that you don't see. Like that's where Floyd mastered. You know, hitting.
Crawford learned from Floyd and incorporated elements of his style into his own approach. Still, he isn't merely imitating Floyd. Crawford has carved out his own path to greatness.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
Dennis is a well-rounded fighter, equally skilled at switching stances and counterpunching. He can turn up the aggression when the opportunity arises, stay strategic when necessary, and above all, he knows how to close out a fight. Once he lands a clean shot, he doesn't give his opponent a second chance.
He said afterwards, "You are better than Floyd Mayweather," and I know you don't like those comparisons. I know you don't like when people pitch you two together, but when you heard that, what did you think? How did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter in my era.
Beating Canelo says a lot. Crawford's greatness isn't limited by weight divisions. He took a bold risk, stepping up against a much bigger opponent, and came out on top. Floyd never took risks like that. He was calculated, picking the right fights at the right moments. Crawford, on the other hand, threw himself straight into the fire and walked out unbeaten.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior welterweights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Tension was palpable as the two faced each other for the first time in front of the cameras. Crawford found it surreal. He had spent years watching, studying, and idolizing Floyd, and now he stood across from someone competing in Floyd's shadow. It was personal. This wasn't some exhibition against an influencer or a retired MMA fighter. This was about proving, to the world and to himself, that after all these years, he is still the alpha.
Excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough. Floyd's not a bad man. But there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Stare down was brief, but the message was clear. Crawford appeared calm and confident, while Floyd wore a knowing smirk, his eyes saying it all. If this fight happens, it would mean everything to him. But let's be honest, it's an uneven matchup in many ways. For Mayweather, there's very little to lose. He's approaching 50, and a win over Crawford would cement his legacy as almost untouchable, the undefeated legend returning decades later to topple a top fighter. If he loses, people will chalk it up to age and being past his prime.